Yeah, it is started.
Okay, so this is a short video on how to make a good presentation. We have already discussed about how to review a paper and how to read a paper. And along with the reading and reviewing part, you should actually communicate well your insights and strengths and weakness of a particular paper. So this setup slides will actually help you in preparing your future presentations. So basically, everyone knows what exactly presentation means, and sometimes presentations can become so boring that you know the answer, right? So ideally, you want your presentation to be of this kind so that everyone appreciate you, not for your English or speaking skills, but actually for your presentation. Okay, so just speaking fast is not presenting your idea properly. Okay, so don't get confused with that. So the first suggestion that I will have is when you present, you have a flow. And what exactly I meant by a flow, I will show it in the very next slide. So flow will tell you what are the possibilities in the next, let's say, 15 minutes or 20 minutes, right? What are the tentative content that you will be talking about, and it is kind of a checkpoint for you and for the audience. Okay, so this is a typical flow. So for this presentation, I'll be talking about, there's four different points, why to communicate, and then some non-technicalities, technicalities, and how to plan your talk, assuming you are giving a talk for 20 minutes. Okay. So every time I finish one of these, key points, I will jump to the flow slide and I will say that, okay, now next I will be talking about non-technicalities or technicalities, blah, blah, blah. So this helps for the audience. They can actually know that, okay, this is where the speaker is actually or currently presenting it. So the primary goal of any presentation is to convince the audience, irrespective of whether they are working on your area, they belong to CS, non-CS, or whatever. And the bigger goal is actually to motivate or even inspire, right? So that they will be, they will be completely impressed by your work and they will start working on this particular the topic that you are giving a presentation, let's say, right? So the end punchline is we should communicate, and why we are stressing on communication is it is pretty simple, right? So there are this famous quote that says you don't know a technology until you can explain it to your grandmother, right? So th- I certainly believe the second quote that if you can't communicate, that means you haven't understood, right? And this is extremely useful tip for anyone who wants to uh, communicate something, who wants to make sure whether he or she has understood something, right? So one of the things that I have at least seen in Indian context is presentation, meaning full of text. It looks like a mini report. So the first mantra that I have is your presentation is not your report. Okay, then what it is. So these are my different ways of differentiating a presentation from a report. If something makes sense out of this slide, it's okay. If not, you can go for this slide also. And if even if this particular slide doesn't help you, maybe some bit of cricket. Okay. And even after these three slides, if you are not getting the point, then maybe my presentation is not good enough. So presentation is actually a teaser or a highlights of your paper or report or anything, which is actually written as a document, right? That we have already discussed. And so if you compare a presentation with a report, the report is kind of, more precise. It's written like a more or less like a, detailed report that provides all the details, right? But presentation should actually talk about the key insights, the key highlights, right? Because the goal of the presentation is to convince the audience so that they will go and start reading the paper, right? You should not read the paper through your presentation. Okay, so that's the difference. So remember the flow, right, that I have mentioned. So now I will just give you a few non-technicalities that at least I try to follow in my slides. The first thing that I have seen or I am seeing every day, right? So every time I sit through any MS, PhD, defense or any project report presentation, right? Extremely small fonts. I don't know why. So my first mantra will be use big fonts so that it will be legible. Anyone can see it, right? Second mantra should be you should have a slide number so that audience can tell you, okay, go to slide number XYG. I have a doubt there or I have a question there, right? Then, as I have already mentioned, your presentation is not a report, so you should not be so concerned about writing a full sentence, writing a sentence with many adjectives and blah blah blah. Your goal should be to to find out something which is pretty simple and short, right? So for example, you can read this sentence. We find that idea ABC is better than XYZ by, let's say, M%, right? Better way to put it for a presentation is ABC is better than XYG by M%, or you can just say ABC outperforms XYJ by approximately M%, right? So having said that, you should take care of spellings. Uh, you know, uh, Here the spelling of spelling is wrong, just to highlight the importance of spelling. But you can ditch the basic grammar rule. No need to put the articles, the verb, subject, agreement. No need to pay attention to that. As long as you are actually communicating a punchline, communicating insight in few words, that is more than enough. But having said that, don't use this kind of words which no one understand. Uh, Next important thing is about pictures and animations. So instead of writing a paragraph, they just put few pictures or put animations, right? That can explain the entire paragraph in just a minute or so, right? Everyone knows it, but it just a matter of intent, right? How serious you are in terms of communicating your idea. See, remember, your presentation is not for you; it's actually for the audience, right? So your goal is to make sure that the audience understand what you want to communicate. So when it comes to audience, there are many things that at least for folks kind of assume. They assume that okay, audience may be knowing what is CAS, what is, let's say, multi-core, blah blah blah. Don't assume anything, right? You can start with the assumption that okay, the audience is just a CS undergrad who was taking, let's say, basic system courses, something like that, right? And you should not take the audience for granted, saying no, the audience don't know anything, I'm the expert. That's the other extreme, right? When you are presenting, make sure that you are actually talking pretty precisely instead of giving ad hoc statement. Yeah, it may happen, that may happen. Yes, you are also right, he is also right. I don't know what is the answer, but I think you may be right. All this kind of ad hoc, non-precise statement that doesn't provide any conclusive evidence, right? Please try to avoid that. And yeah, you can also bring in your own way of presenting. So I'm not saying this is the way of presentation. You can bring your own style of presentation, which can actually help the audience to get the information that you are trying to communicate. I have always seen good sense of humor and bit of suspense depending on the technicalities also helps. Otherwise, folks usually get bored after first 5-10 minutes, and especially in today's world where most of the folks are busy in social media, it's pretty hard to grab the attention, right? Okay, so with that, let's jump to the technicalities. So the technicalities, the first step that you should follow is you should talk about the problem that you will be talking about in your presentation, right? What exactly is the problem? Why the problem is a problem, right? And you should actually pitch it at a high level so that anyone can understand. Okay, you should not put deeper, subtle nuances in the very first set of slides. Then you can jump from the problem to solution, saying that okay, that was the problem. This is the motivation, and then this paper provides this solution, right? The key highlights of this paper is A, B, C, D, E, right? After this, you can actually jump into the the subtle zone where you can expect only a few who have read the paper, who are working on that paper to understand. So that is the step 3, where you kind of explain the idea, the actual solution of the paper through figures and animations. Make sure that you demonstrate all the subtle points here in this particular phase. Okay. Then once that is done, you have to jump into the results, because architecture is a field of empirical studies. So you will find plots, insights, and blah blah blah. Have few slides on the results. Okay, how good are the results in terms of, let's say, security or performance or whatever. Finally, you should come back to step 1 and step 2 and try to conclude. Okay. So when I say conclude and you start in the step 1 as a pitch, it's not same as the abstract and conclusion of a paper. Okay. So that they are actually for a report. For a presentation, it's actually different. You have to again put few short sentences saying, okay, this paper proposed ABC. It provides performance DEF, right? Storage overhead, something, something. And finally, it solves this problem because it provides, let's say, strong security guarantee and minimal performance overhead, something like that. Okay. So with that, let me just give you a quick, timeline. If you are planning for a 20-minute presentation, which will be the timeline for this course. So the first step that we discussed, pitching it right, that you should spend maximum 2 minutes, not more than that. I have seen folks explaining, their idea for 10 minutes, and by the time the audience will say, "Okay, done. We are not interested in this particular topic," right? Then remember the step 2, where you will actually jump into the beginning of your solution, right? What exactly are the motivation, why this particular solution is a good solution, and blah blah blah. Then the technicalities part, where you can go into the rigor, then some of the key results, and finally you conclude with 1 minute. Okay. So just try to follow it. I'm not saying that, okay, I will have a stopwatch and I will stop you after 2 minutes and you should be done with your step 1 after 2 minutes, but roughly we can plan it like this. Uh, when you're presenting, it's kind of obvious that you will get questions from your audience, and you may get good comments and suggestions also. So it's always good to have a notebook or iPad which can give you all the comments at the end of the talk, and you can go and revisit your presentation, right? Uh, these are the two things that are non-technical that I would expect these two qualities from you. Don't be defensive, and at the same time, you know, uh, you should have an open heart to take care of feedbacks that are provided by either by me or by your friends, right? Having said that, you may get some questions which are, pretty lengthy, and then it may, take all the time. So we will just delegate those questions to, let's say, MS Teams or Piazza. Okay. For the audience who are on the other side, let's say on January 31st, there will be 5 groups who will be presenting in that week. So there will be 5 other groups who will be just listening, right? Your job should be like you should be critical throughout, and you should be asked questions to understand what the speaker is presenting, but you should not be, in a mood to disturb the speaker or to, non-stop ask. You should not start asking questions that are not relevant, at least for a 20-minute presentation, right? So be critical, but make sure that you are not, crossing a thin line that everyone expects you to follow. Okay. With that, I will stop, and I will share these slides on Piazza after the lecture. So Devasis, you can stop the recording.